everything is him. Some of them you see here that are coming up to talk rubbish with their mouth are not in good terms. When Nnamdi Kanu started this agitation, he had opposition in the southeast. Some people break away from him. They still have voice up to today. Most of the people you see on this social media talking rubbish are part of those people. People like Iken Guruagu and Co, who was once IPOB, today is fighting the struggle. These are his students. These are his students. As a result of that, some of them are being brought over. They come up here to say, what has Nnamdi Kanu done? You pardon the Fulani man that is hoisting AK-47. We saw a video where they are on round table with the government negotiating for peace. Nnamdi Kanu, who never fired a shot, whose only crime was to use a microphone. He's the one in dungeon. How many years has elapsed? No justice, no judgment. When you talk, they say, oh, they want to tag NSAS protests that happened in Lagos to Nnamdi Kanu. Since when did Yoruba people start taking instruction from Nnamdi Kanu? That Nnamdi Kanu would be in UK and use microphone to say, Yoruba people destroy Lagos.
Most villages in Aligbo today are empty with no one living inside. Radicalized armed youth have run everyone, including elders, out of town. We see 10-year-olds carrying AK-47 guns. These 10-year-olds have succeeded in chasing out the elders and women out of their ancestral home. But guess what? Yes, many of you will not be happy. The reason why you will not be happy is that many of us, I will say us, seated here today, Igbo diasporans, many of us have been fingered for sympathizing with these radicalized young people.
They are not the one, so you can't blame them. There are a lot of factors that contribute to the insecurity that is happening in Southeast. To a point, even when Fulani people will come and kill, they will say, no, it's IPOB. Tomorrow they will say, no, it's Fulani. Next tomorrow they say, no, it's IPOB. So the hatred they have for that young man, when IPOB was designated, proscribed in 2017, September 20th, 2017, are they using arms? We are there using, if they were being proscribed as a result of their violence activity, which then what made them to proscribe them in 2017? Because that was when they designated them a terrorist group. What was the activity of these people? Fact check me. They were using placards, flags to demonstrate, and they brandished them terrorist group. As a result, they killed a lot of them, shot a lot of them, killed them in their hundreds and thousands. These boys now said, oh, they killed us without even having a gun, which means if you have gun, you will die. If you don't have, you will die. Let us use gun and defend ourselves. They have already proscribed them terrorist organization. Today, APC is being proscribed a terrorist group by Canadian court. Does it make APC a terrorist group? Should we now say APC, the political party that is leading us, governing us, they are terrorists? If we should go by the virtue of that, which means we are being governed by terrorist organization, APC and PDP. There are some prerequisites for one to be called a terrorist, or for a group to be designated as a terrorist group. And those things, none of it were visible when IPOB was designated a terrorist group. They were peaceful. So it is not the instinct.
Most villages in Ali-Igbo today are empty with no one living inside. Radicalized armed youth have run everyone, including elders, out of town. We see 10-year-olds carrying AK-47 guns. These 10-year-olds have succeeded in chasing out the elders and women out of their ancestral home. But guess what? Yes, many of you will not be happy. The reason why you will not be happy is that many of us, I will say us, seated here today, Igbo diasporans, many of us have been fingered for sympathizing with these radicalized young people who have turned some parts of Ali-Igbo into Afghanistan. So this my talk today might not be sweet, but it's time for self-reflection. If you have ever sent money home to
Of the population we see today in Southeast, a major stakeholder in Nigeria when it comes to population as it stands, even some Northerners, even some Westerners, Southerners are with him. But his vast fan is in the Southeast. He controls them till tomorrow. You come here, you say we, because you open space and you even the people that are in your space, if you check, 5% are from Southeast, the rest are Westerners and Northerners and Southeasterners and South people in your space. You don't have even 20% of the Southeast people in the space that you open on daily basis. And you come there, you got to say we, as if you think you are somebody. A pauper, a butterfly calling himself a bird will come on space to be talking about, to speak as if you're speaking for Southeasterners. Who are you? Who are you? You think if anything happens to Nnamdi Kanu today, you won't see 100 Nnamdi Kanu? You think jailing Nnamdi Kanu or killing him will stop the struggle? Is that how you think? I thought we are looking for a permanent solution to all these things. If we are looking for a permanent solution, why not discuss with Nnamdi Kanu? Look, my friend, you're not traveling out again from Nigeria. Let's be our friend. In fact, we want to inform you what is happening in Nigeria. When there was violence in Niger Delta, Asari Dokubo Ateke and Tompolo, the number of people that died in Niger Delta is not up to 1/3. I mean, the one in Southeast is not up to 1/3 of what were killed in Niger Delta. Asari was arrested. At the point he was released. Today, what they gave him, they gave him position. They say hang a dog, take a bone and hang on the neck of a dog. The dog will not eat that bone. They committed him. I take it from His Royal Highness in Okrika. His part, they gave him a vigilante of what in Niger Delta. From Polo today is overseeing the pipeline. They committed all these people. There is peace in that area. Nnamdi Kanu should be killed because he used microphone to say he never fired those who are waving the AK-47, standing side by side by the Nigerian military. Doro Tunji, they talked about him. Oh, all of a sudden, now today we don't hear about him anymore. They have asked him to just fight low. Where is he? Oh, Nnamdi Kanu should be slaughtered. Another person's child, because it's not from your you go and bring your own brother to be slaughtered. You speak for yourself, you don't speak for self. You don't even control any respect in your community. You want to control it, you want to speak for the whole Southeast because you think you can come on space and open space and you see 300 people listening to you. Of that 300, maybe 20 are from Southeast. The rest are from other states. And you think you have arrived. When in your street where you stay, you don't have respect. Your ward chairman don't even know you. You don't even know you can't call your local government chairman on phone and he comes to your house. That is the kind of person that wants to come and speak for Southeast. Shame on all of you. again.
Thank you so very much. Yeah, you've articulated your position very clearly, and the listeners have heard loud and clear. Let's pass the mic to new speakers. Let's rotate this mic as soon as possible. Yeah, if you have spoken before, you might not get preference for now. After taking the new speakers, then we'll go back to speakers that have spoken before. Um, Somto, Somto is your next.
Sorry, please. I just want to say, please let's be
Good
factual.
afternoon.
I just need 1 minute. Please let's be factual about Nigerian history. I'm not going to call.
Good
Somto,
afternoon.
Somto, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Good afternoon,
All
everybody.
right, all right, yeah.
See, brothers and sisters, this issue of Nnamdi Kanu is not small issue. To be honest with you, I hate injustice. To the type of country we all are seeing many things happening in this country. All of us are on social media. We are seeing video clips, video short pictures of terrorists being recruited back into the society in many parts of the country. Okay, let's assume Southeast as an example. I hate everything, every insecurity in the Southeast. People will direct it to IPOB. In this Southeast, for example, now many of us are in Enugu, Anambra, Imo. For you to move from this place to this place, you will see a checkpoint. Okay,
Most villages in Aligbo today are empty with no one living inside. Radicalized armed youth have run everyone, including elders, out of town. We see 10-year-olds carrying AK-47 guns. These 10-year-olds have succeeded in chasing out the elders and women out of their ancestral home. But guess what? Yes, many of you will not be happy. The reason why you will not be happy is that many of us, I will say us, seated here today, Igbo diasporans, many of us have been fingered for sympathizing with these radicalized young people who have turned some parts of Aligbo into Afghanistan. So this my talk today might not be sweet, but it's time for self-reflection. If you have ever sent money home to support any secessionist group, I want to inform you that sadly,
and move freely. That means you are colluding with the security operatives in the states. Everywhere you go, you will see military checkpoints from here to here. For you to move 30 minutes in the southeast without seeing a checkpoint on the highway is very difficult. So how are these people operating without all these military checkpoints tracking them down? Why are all of you not asking these questions? Let us reason like adults. We are no longer children. All these security operatives are colluding with these people committing these crimes. Everything IPOB, everything. I have sat down many times and asked myself these questions. So why are we twisting this? Okay, many of us cannot agree with the IPOB's decision, IPOB agitation, Nnamdi Kanu's agitation. Yes, but you cannot channel all the crimes in the region towards them. Let us face reality. Let them decide what are we going to do about this man. Tell us, than postponing and postponing cases all the time. If you take him to court now, okay, all these people here that are saying he escaped, he jumped bail. How can you come to my house to kill me and expect me not to run? You people should be reasoning like human beings. So how can I come to your house with guns, military, all military, these personnel in the whole country came into your community to kill you, to your own house, and you expect me not to run? If I come to your house to kill you with gun, stay now, make I buy you. You people should reason like normal human beings. If you hate the man, it is free. It is normal hate is normal for everybody. But don't channel your hatred toward justice, because judicial system of this country is gone with this issue of Nnamdi Kanu. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so very much for that submission. Let's move the mic as fast as possible. La Consul, you are next. La Consul, are
Uh,
you there?
Hi, good morning, and
Yeah, well done.
yeah, well done, everyone. It's so. By the way, thank you for the space. I've been enlightened. I've been, educated further by listening to um, uh, quite a few of really remarkable, uh, smart, intelligent, and very nuanced Nigerians like Alaba, Chimeze, and quite a few others. I'm sorry if I didn't mention your name, but. Um, So one thing is clear: we do not. I mean, ideally we shouldn't, but in reality, a lot of folks are very not able to appear uh, fair in their assessment of the situation. Now, I listened to my brother 10 over 10, and I truly empathize. I kind of relate. Uh, I personally, my family lost a business. I lost a brother. So the fact that I can laugh about it, I think it's really remarkable. But so for me personally, it came at a cost for my family, and so it's not something that I approach or treat with, on seriousness. However, my position is clear. Um, Mr. Kanu had been extradited to Nigeria in an unusual manner. But guess what? If the law had taken its course within a reasonable time, believe me, we wouldn't be having this conversation today, right? But we are, you know, um, having to deal with um, a government that apparently is unserious and a government that is also apparently unfair. And I've listened to a lot of submissions here. And what needs to be underscored is the fact that uh, from when he was arrested in Kenya up till this point, uh, the gentleman, Mr. Kanu, had not been treated with regards to what the law requires. And so, for that, I don't think we should be faulting Nigerians, but rather the government. However, what happened? Let's go back to what happened. At the time Mr. Kanu came into public view, I thought, like most people have, mentioned here, he was more or less an agitator. He was a secessionist. He paraded himself as the voice of the East and the one that, wanted to liberate the East from the perception of injustice, which I absolutely do agree with, in the sense that there were, argument to be made of the marginalization of the Eastern Nigeria post-war, post-Civil War, sorry. Um, but I thought the approach with which he went about it was really troubling. And I learned, I listened to somebody gasp when somebody pointed out some of the utterances he made back in the days. And that kind of made me wonder, okay, so we didn't really do our research very well. Um, he's a likable guy, but it's just the fact that he was flawed. He was flawed. He was consumed by emotion. He was driven by, I don't want to say hate, but he had that, righteous indignation, sorry. And again, maybe rightly so. But again, like somebody has pointed out, and by the way, thank you, Thank you, the avowed Lumumbis. Bro, you stole my thunder. I actually wanted to come up and say that before you said that. And that is the fact that, yes, one can make an argument that Odemogo Juku was uh, a little slightly different from what Nnamdi Kanu did. But in the grand scheme of things, it's pretty much the same thing, right? So if we are to pardon Odemego Ojukwu and get him back to Nigeria, a matter of fact, recognize him as a politician, right? Even to the point where a lot of them run for presidency, right? Mainstream him. So I just find it really kind of suspect to hear some of the arguments I've heard here. Are we going to treat this with hate? And listening to some folks here, they spoke with a great deal of animus. And it makes me wonder, are these not the same sort of rhetorics we heard from the IPOB? Unlike my brother Alaba said, if we are to, for instance, say, kill Nnamdi Kanu, remember he pointed us out Jesus Christ was killed and the third day he rose again. And I heard somebody here spoke with passion. I may not necessarily agree with him, but he said, if you kill Nnamdi Kanu, 100 more may rise again. And that is possible. I mean, we need to imbibe the spirit of reconciliation. We need to know that forgiveness is power. And again, if I can draw that, comparison with what is going on in northern Nigeria, a region where I was born and bred up, if we can compare what's going on there today vis-a-vis their relationship and the approach to Boko Haram, terrorists, jihadis, whatever you call them, then what moral justification or what level of fairness are we bringing to the approach within Nnamdi Kanu? For me personally, I think it's long overdue. If they have gone ahead and thrown the books at him, even though from the onset uh, it was skewed, it was flawed, the process through which they renditioned him. But yet, if they had gone ahead and within a reasonable time dispensed of this case, I thought it would have saved a lot of people a lot of headache. But at this point in time, it would be foolhardy of the Nigerian government, in my opinion, to proceed with anything other than to discharge and acquit. And that is probably the way we restore peace in Ebola. And that is the way we probably have to begin the process of reconciliation and reconstruction. The Southeast today is terribly disorganized. And sometimes I wonder how did a set of people are vowed to be very smart, daring, intelligent, how can they fall from grace to so low as to fall to the grass, as if they never had a history? It's like no grown up at home. It's like what we see a bunch of politicians, politicking, a bunch of fraudsters. I mean, look at the crop of politicians we have in the Southeast today. Nothing compares to what they had in the past. And it begs the question, what is actually going on in the Southeast? Is the government complicit? Are there external players involved? Or had all we've seen so far been purely and strictly IPOB? Ponder on that. And please, on the final note, I'll say, let's endeavor to give peace a chance. And that is the way we can restore sanity. Thank you very much for your domain, Mike.
Thank you so very much for that very interesting view to this. Respect your submission, and your submission was quite logical. You looked at it from a very, very different perspective, and you in some way also reiterated what so many speakers have already said before, and that we are thankful for coming up to have your take today, on this very important subject matter. Let's pass the mic as fast as possible to new speakers. But before we go to new speakers, some some hands has been up for quite a great deal of time. So let's do well to attend to them, so that we can actually accommodate more new speakers. All right. Um, well, man, your hands has been up for quite a great deal of time. So let's have you, so that we can move on. All right. Yeah, because we have spoken before.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good afternoon once again. To you, the host and the co-host, please. If you check those that are speaking in favor of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, can you please ask them to put up their pictures so that we know who they are? They will hide their face under I don't know what. My face is there. Chief that spoke, his face is not there. 1010, his face is there. Let them that are speaking in favor of Nnamdi, let them put their face. Let us know who they are. Let us know who is talking to us now. What is happening here? You go hide under I don't know what, and you'll be here talking about. Are you a GSS agent? What kind of rubbish is that?
1010 does not have a picture. 1010 does not have a picture.
Of course he has. Of course he has.
It does not. I think I checked.
1010 had a JC as a profile picture. 1010 had a JC as a profile picture. My brother, continue with
Are you a GSS agent?
People are waiting.
You guys don't know this guy.
You are picking up POB and killing them in the southeast. Are you a GSS agent?
I'm going to interject you. After me, now you go. If you talk, I'm going to interject you.
No problem. Interject me. No problem.
Most villages in Igbo today are empty with no one living inside. Radicalized armed youth have run everyone, including elders, out of town. We see 10-year-olds carrying AK-47 guns. These 10-year-olds have succeeded in chasing out the elders and women out of their ancestral home. But guess what? Yes, many of you will not be happy. The reason why you will not be happy is that many of us, I will say us, seated here today, Igbo diasporans, many of us have been fingered for sympathizing with these radicalized young people who have turned some parts of Alibo into Afghanistan. So this is my talk.
Your second take this time around, anyway. But just wait a minute. But
Please,
what
I've
man?
not spoken yet. I've not spoken yet. I've
Yes,
not spoken
I'm
yet. I'm
about
yet.
to rotate the mic. That is why I said so that there are other people that are requesting for mic. So one man can have his take, so that I can bring other people up, so that I can pass the mic along, so that it will get to you. That is what I'm actually working towards. But one thing that is very, very notable, with what woman have said is, it seems to have concentrated on, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and not actually look at things from an holistic point of view, with respect to how, the same federal government who has proscribed IPOP has not really proscribed every other terrorist group alongside, the same with the same variants of confrontation of carrying arms. All right, we know in this country many terrorist organizations that are carrying arms, all right, against the state, and the Nigerian government have not proscribed them as terrorist organization yet officially. So that is going to raise a lot of, that is what is causing a lot of this problem. This double standard is crazy, and the Nigerian state have not helped the situation. Why we cannot justify some of the rhetoric, some of the language that is being used, some of the approach, we might not want to validate that, but we can see the undertone of a government that is not committed to actually approach issues you know true and true, without any form of means of looking at defects in their approach, or their one-sided selective justice. So it raises a lot of red flag in my view, and that is why a lot of people are concerned about this whole issue.
Can I ask you a question?
It will get to it's
Can
not
I
your
ask you a
turn.
question?
It will get to you, sir. It will get to you, sir. Let's pass the mic to yeah, the hunter. The
Yeah.
hunter.
So
Wait,
just
wait.
a question before I
Becking.
just
We
a
no.
question.
You when you get to your turn, you ask your question.
Just,
Yeah. Um.
Civic, you thought you said, let me make my second round.
Most villages in Alibo today are empty with no one living inside. Radicalized armed youth have run everyone, including elders, out of town. We see 10-year-olds carrying AK-47 guns. These 10-year-olds have succeeded in chasing out the elders and women out of their ancestral home. But guess what? Yes, many of you will not be happy. The reason why you will not be happy is that many of us, I will say us, seated here today, Igbo diasporans, many of us have been fingered for sympathizing with these radicalized young people who have turned some parts of Alibo into Afghanistan. So this my talk today might not be sweet.
As an armed group, up until the Nigerian government killed their leader, all right, then it metamorphosized into something quite deadly, and it became a very, very terrible issue. And the Nigerian government are still very much dealing with it now. I remember very well too, unless we want to be unfair to the hip-hop guys, they did not start as an armed group. That is truth. That is just the truth. Unless we want to lie. They did not start as a armed group. It was the Nigerian government that messed the whole thing up. That is one important angle to all of this that we don't want to actually accept. All right. I don't know who is calling me. Who the hell is calling me? So that is just what I want to say. Let's pass the mic. And thank you so much. Polonium, your response, please.
Yes, my brother. Thank you very much for bringing that last point, and I want to continue on that. The thing is, rightly so, the way the government at the time went about it, and that's the part of this whole thing that I do not agree with. Because when these guys started, these were just normal, everyday people who were agitating, for what's it called, their own recognition. It was just an everyday. We normally go out and protest with flags. It was not sufficient. It was not those activities in the days of PDP, good under Jonathan. We see that these guys, they were known people, and they were not carrying arms. They were not calling for anybody's killing, and they went about their activity. They were known. They had leaders who were known, and going back to what the other gentleman said, that the political process, was hijacked. Most of us on this space were intelligent enough to know that we have seen nations who have won political positions without arms. We know countries, we know nations, we know people who have, even the Nigerian independence. It wasn't with arms. So I do not buy. Nnamdi Kanu had the opportunity to come up and inherit an existing structure of IPOB members, and he could have gone about that, like I said, using the political means. It could have been a very effective group with his level of eloquence. It could have been a very effective pressure group for him to use it as a platform to engage with other tribes in the country. He could have gone to the Yoruba Nation people and engaged with them intellectually through mutual and established mutual relationship. He could have gone to the north. He could have gone anywhere. And then with the influence they had in the Southeast, they would have been able to have their members, taking up political positions and securing their votes, because that's what it's all about in Nigerian politics. So it is possible. It is possible. You cannot tell me that a man who you say controls 70 to 50%, influence in a region cannot achieve that. Please. Thank you, my brother. Thank you for the opportunity for us to have this engagement.
Thank you so much. It's also a very interesting, perspective. Because our approach, nobody can tell me that the only approach to secession is armed struggle. Nobody can actually say that is the only approach. I think that is the approach of politics, or the political means. Is also very, very much a route that could be explored, that should be opened for exploration. But let's face it, as I said, IPOB did not start as a armed group. I believed, if I'm not mistaken, it was after their proscription that things got from bad to worse. It was after, I remember that time when just because they were having a rally, the army invaded them, begin to assault them on an industrial scale. They begin to, that was when things now begin to go south. Things now begin to deteriorate, which is an absolute mishandling of this case by the Nigerian government, which I would not, I'll have my concerns about, because that means that the Nigerian government had the real culprits here. And that's how I'm saying it. Thank you so much, Bruno. Let's take new speakers at this point. Yeah, wow, okay. Sino Show, are you there? Sino Show. Okay, no,
Yeah,
no,
I
before
am
Sino
here,
Show, please.
Oga.
I skipped one person, sorry. Justice for
Okay.
thank you for calling
Okay.
my name. Justice for the masses. Yeah, it should be the person that should speak next. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Civic. I greet everybody on this space. I greet you special. I am justice for the masses. I think in regards to to the releasing of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, I think we should call Chief Njenje the man who saw tomorrow. And I will tell you the reason why. Some years back, he held the space, and we were on that space, and Simon Ekpa strayed into that space like a stray dog, and he was made the star guest. And he was asked a question by Chief Njenje, and the question goes like this. And if Nnamdi Kanu is released, I will repeat the question verbatim. Simon Ekpa was asked by Chief Njenje, if Nnamdi Kanu is released, will he hand over the leadership of the organization to him? And that is why I call him the man who saw tomorrow. He asked Simon Ekpa this exact question. And of course, we know now he's a terrorist because he has been charged